Hello, Hamish here from mortgagesonline.co.nz. I'm here with Parash today from ASAP Finance, who works a lot with first-time property developers. Right, Parash?
Yeah. Hi, Hamish. How are you? Yes, that's right. We do work a lot with first-time developers, typically those looking to do their sort of small infill kind of development, three or four houses.
Yep. And I think the thing is what we're going to get into today is some of the costs that are overlooked, right, when they get into a development like that.
That's right. So often when these clients approach us, the equity is pretty strong. On the face of it, the numbers work. But what we try and do, specifically for first-time developers, is that we almost come in like a consultant and go through the project feasibility in great detail to make sure that all the possible costs are covered in the feasibility, and there's nothing there that's missing that could potentially,
And
catch them out later.
and often you're dealing with people that have already been told no by the bank, and you're actually, sorry, what I should actually mention is that you actually fund these projects and kind of
That's
get
right.
quite hands-on. You're not the
That's
cheapest,
right.
but you've got the balls to actually deliver money to make the thing, and you'll focus often on the end value as well, right?
Yeah, we look at the end value, the equity, and the exit. Yeah, effectively, we are development funding specialists. That's what we do. We fund circa 700 houses every year. So um, these are you're absolutely right. The clients have been declined by the bank because the bank's appetite for development is very limited at this stage. And so when they come to us, they obviously are not quite in the best frame of mind, if because they have been declined by the bank. They are not sure if the development is going to go ahead, so they need some sort of reassurance and someone to guide them through the process of what's involved. So that's usually what our first approach is.
Well,
So
Paresh, what are the kind of costs that people overlook that they don't factor
so
in?
typically, typically what happens is the client will get a quote from a builder, and the builder will quote typically for the actual houses. So let's say from foundation to code of compliance. But obviously, there's the other costs of actually subdividing or getting titles, which involves, public drainage, private drainage, civil works. There's things like paying the utilities, so water care, chorus, vector, council contributions. There's a whole lot of other costs. So if you are, depending on where you are, there'll be traffic management costs for the vehicle crossing. So all those little items tend to add up. And the other thing that happens, you may know of those items, but you may have mispriced them because a lot of people may not have gone to the extent of saying, okay, I'm just putting a water meter. I'll put a $5,000 cost, but a water meter in Auckland costs, circa 13,000 plus USD. So it's quite important that even before you start the project, you actually go through your costs in great detail to make sure that first and foremost, your project budget is very accurate. It's got all the items. It's got reasonable contingencies in there so that your budget is very robust. So when you come to a lender, you're fully confident. Look, this is my budget. I've got reasonable contingency. I'm pretty confident if anything, I will come under this budget. So that's the first step, because once you have the budget, then everything else from there on becomes a lot simpler.
Okay, Parash, look, thanks for your time. I think that's awesome. We're probably going to do a couple more clips with you as well, but I think, look, that really covers a lot of things. And I think the key thing is people can, more than happy to have a chat, initial discussion to put something together for Parash. Just in terms of roughly what the numbers look like to see whether, someone like Parash can actually fund it to the finish line, right?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. More than happy to have an initial chat, because, like I said, we always, even if something is potentially 6 months or 8 months away from starting, we'd like clients to actually talk to us, because I think, especially in the post-COVID world, you have to treat your lender as a consultant, and just like you would approach a planner or an engineer or an architect, you have to take the same approach, that you meet the lender nice and early and give an overview to the lenders so that the lender's view on the project can also be taken into account.
Yeah, look, thanks for watching, and hopefully that's been handy, and thanks for coming in, Parash.
Thanks, Amish.